I look at the kids' church next door. You know why they're there? They're not there to have lollies, have chips. They're not there just to jump around and dance and that. They're learning. They're learning about the life of Jesus Christ. They're learning, they're growing, they want to know. And how do I know that? Because my 8-year-old, for the first time, has started devotions by herself. And what I love about it is I never spoke to her about it. The next generation's journey is out of your hands. There is a part where I'm going to read soon later on where they must trust in the Lord themselves. They must grab hold of themselves. Just like when a kid grows up and the kid wants to move out of home, you must let go. And you hope and pray to go hold on to that faith. Hold on to the goodness of God. One day some parents brought their children to Jesus so he could lay his hands on them and pray for them. But the disciples scolded the parents for bothering him. But Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, don't stop them. For the kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are like these children." And he placed his hands on their heads and blessed them before he left. Jesus doesn't stop them. Jesus knows that the future generation, those that have a childlike faith is what is known as. A childlike faith. Curious, what's this? What's that? Learn, take it in, teaching, structure. Teach your kids about the life of Jesus. That one day when they embark the journey on their own, they would hold that truth close. I look at the Bofa family who are about to embark on their journey back home. Their story hasn't ended. It's going to write a new one. You know what I love about them? Jesus. They didn't stop anything to get in the way from their kids and Jesus. What are you leaving behind, church? What are you leaving the next generation? What truths about God's greatness and love are you passing down to the next generation? If your story means to impact someone's life, how are you living that out? When you talk to people, do they see Jesus' love through the way you live your life? When you talk to people, do they see God's faithfulness in your eyes? Do they see God's courage in the way you serve? Do they see God's resilience and perseverance through the way that you live your life? Can I tell you, church, that your story matters? Your story, past, present, will impact the future. And I believe that for every single person here. Remember, your story is not just for you, it's a gift to others. And it's part of a beautiful work of passing on faith. Your story shows you where you've come from. Your story helps others, impacts lives. And the third and final thing is this. Your story is not finished yet. He believes that? We're not done yet. God's not done with you. If I get the band up, please, or the keys. Your journey is still unfolding. The story of your life isn't complete, and the choices you make still will echo far beyond your own lifetime. Your legacy is being written right now, and its impact will be felt by generations to come. Every step you take, every decision you make, every action you take is shaping not only your future, but the future of those who follow after you. Your story is still being written. I look at Daryl here, staring at me all morning. Love him to bits. Talking to him in the seasons he's having, he goes, nah, but I'm still going. I'm still going. Nah. Yep, had a miss. No, it's all good. I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm still coming. I'm still here. I'm still at Growth Lights. I'm still at church. I'm still going to serve. Because he knows the faithful Father that he served before. The same one. In verse 6. So the next generation might know them. Even the children not yet born. And they in turn will teach their own children. Isn't that powerful, church? So the next generation might know them. The truths about our Lord and Savior. His goodness, His faithfulness, His good deeds and His mighty wonders. Last week we had baptisms. Wasn't that a powerful weekend? Yeah, what do we give everyone a hand? All of those that got baptized. What I love about the baptisms is their stories. Hear their stories. Powerful. Powerful stories of how God's moved in their life. Powerful stories of how God has shaped them. Powerful stories of God's transformation. Each and every person with a story of how good our Father is. And what's interesting to me is they all made that choice for themselves. One of them was my niece, Faith. I wasn't going to share this, but she's looking at me, so I might as well. My niece, Faith. You know, when she was 8 years old, I forgot to pick her up from school, and it was pouring down a rain because I was mucking around at Fountain Gate Shopping Centre. And she comes to me and she walks home in the rain. She goes, "You forgot me." I said, "No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. What do you want? Ice cream? You want chocolate? What do you want? Anything you want." All right? Through the years of a journey. Yeah, her ups and downs, like everyone else. Now she's serving in youth. She's serving in youth. One of the youth leaders. She's serving over in kids. But there was something powerful in her that I saw, was that last week at baptisms, I never spoke to her. I didn't encourage her. I didn't message her to say, "You need to get baptized." Because we're family and we have to get baptized together. Together is better. I didn't. Didn't reach out to her, nothing. She made a decision for herself. For herself. Not for me. She didn't make a decision because her uncle was lead pastor of this church. She doesn't care about that. What she cares about is the journey that God's taking her on. I said to Alex, "Look, I'm going to go and preach without weeping at all." And she goes to me, "Oh, look, hon, it's okay. You're probably going to do it. I'll be ready with the tissues and those things and stuff." And I was like, The other thing we saw last week with all of them, or some of them, is the weeping. Why do we weep? We don't weep because it hurts. That's not why we weep. We weep because we let go of that tough guy image. I lived that life. I've been there, seen it all before. I let go of that. They wept because of what God is doing in their lives. Where they've come from, they're reminded. Those that got baptized, they're reminded, "It was you all along, Lord, moving back there. It was you all along. I didn't see it then, but now I see it. And I dedicate my life to you." They made a choice for themselves. That's why your story is not finished. is that when they continue their stories, they will impact others. In verse 7, so each generation should set its hope anew on God, not forgetting his glorious miracles and obeying his commands. Set its hope anew in God, a decision made by the individual, not persuaded or influenced by anyone else, by the individual, to say, I trust in God. NIV version, then they would put their trust in God and would not forget his deeds, but would keep his commandments. Isn't that hope for our children? That when they grow up and they leave home and you go, I hope you put your trust in God. I've done my part. You've been a part of my story. But now you're ready to write your own. The act of setting hope anew involves one story is powerful, church. And our lives always unfolding. New season. Different perspective. Different situation, but all part of the same story, a story of Jesus Christ and how he's been faithful in the past, the present, and will continue to be. Isn't Jesus the greatest storyteller? Do you agree on that? The greatest storyteller ever. He would often use parables, simple yet profound stories to convey deep spiritual truths. Through his stories, he made complex ideas accessible and touched the hearts of those who heard them. And I'm going to read to you the parable of the Good Samaritan. And read it for yourself. Reflect on this for yourself. And it says this. A Jewish man was traveling from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up. They left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along, but when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. A temple assistant walked over and looked at him lying there, but he also passed on the other side. Then a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. Then he put the man on his own donkey, and took him to the inn, where he took care of him. The next day he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, take care of this man. If this bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here. Now, which of these 3 would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by the bandits? Jesus asked. The man replied, the one who showed him mercy. Jesus said, yes, now go and do the same. I wish I could tell you right now that your story starts and stops and that's it. You'll just go live your life the way it is. Your story has power to impact lives. Through the story, Jesus not only teaches us about compassion, but also shows us that our stories, how we live and act, can change the course of someone else's life. The Samaritan's act of mercy didn't just help one man. It became a lasting lesson for generations. Simple stories. When I came off the street many years ago and walked into that church, where do I start? Parables, let's start there. Easy stories to remember. We can relate to them. Farmer, sower, there's many of them. But through their journey of such a simplicity of knowing who Jesus is. He's done a work in me where I now go, there are more truths to unfold. There is more to know about our good, good Father. It's never ending. I've never met anyone that goes, all right, I've done this whole Jesus thing and I am qualified, did it, graduated. Get your certificate in the service, well done. It's an ongoing process. Are you living out your life in such a way that your stories reflect His love and mercy? Are you living that out? When you live your life and when you see people and they look at you, do they see Jesus' love in you? Do they see the joy of Jesus in you? Because I've never met anyone go, what's wrong? Goes, oh yeah, I'm just fired up for Jesus. Just fired up. I'm fired up. I'm really fired up. Right? What decisions are you making today that will affect tomorrow? What are some of the things here that you will change? Maybe some of you here and you go, you know what? My story's too heavy of a burden to share. I don't want to go back there. But I can tell you this, you can go back there and you won't be alone. You'll revisit that time it was too hard and you go, you know what? I'm here because He was there first. He moved here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm able to be here. And there was a letting go. There is an authentic feeling of letting go to say, I'm not strong on my own. I can't do it by myself. I can show face and show you I've got it all together. I can live a life in the Word and all that to show, oh yeah, all of this is whatever. Truth of the matter is, when you're reminded of His good deeds, His mighty wonders, His goodness, His love, it breaks you down. It breaks you down where you go, I will receive today. I will take in today. Please, Lord, help me to continue writing this story. Are you living in such a way that the future generations will look back and say, I saw God at work in your life. I saw His love. I saw His mercy, His power. I look around this room and I see Frank there, back there. That guy's solid as a rock. What I see in him is he's planted along the riverbank. He's planted on the foundation of Jesus Christ. Many on our worship teams, our service teams, those that pull the curtain back and forth, those that make a coffee that is too hot, it's too cold, it's too whatever. Who cares? You're getting it. Here's a gift, a heart of gratitude to say, here you go. Remember your roots. Each and every one of us has come from nothing somewhere in our lives. And I see some of you nodding your heads, and whatever that nothing was, you've grabbed onto something along that journey. So I see it in you. I see it in every single one of you. And I want to leave you with this, church. Where you'll come from matters. Who you help and who you encourage and who you impact matters. But He is not done with you yet. And what we're going to do before we finish up, the team are going to lead us in worship. The love of God. Oh, praise His name. Season of Christmas.